This is part 2 of What Was I Thinking? The mental game through the eyes of a golf professional. In 1999, Jose Maria Olazabal won the Masters, and I remember watching on TV, and there was a shot that he absolutely had to make. It was on one of the Amen corner holes, and he sized it up, picked his club, and it was just about to strike the ball. It was in his backswing and just about to come down when he stopped cold. And he had a pretty quick swing, so that's a hard thing to do for him. But he actually felt the wind change during that golf swing. He was that in tune with his body. And you might say, well, my goodness, you know, so where was his mind when he was hitting that shot? It was totally in feel. There was no sort of conscious thought, because he couldn't have done both. So changed clubs, hit the shot, and won the Masters. That's called proprioception, and it's a loose definition, knowing where your body is in space without looking at it. And really, isn't that the way we play? You can't look at yourself swinging. You feel it. You can't think yourself through a golf shot. It has to be feel and you know, trusting that feel, having done it enough times to know that it works. So again, I'm not a psychologist or a rabbi or a priest or a sensei. I'm a golf professional, CPGA member and PGA member. But I do know that this one particular technique is very, very powerful for doing what all the sports psychologists tell you to do, which is get into the moment. And if you've practiced the last segment, which was coming back to the room, you may have noticed that your mind there were gaps between the thoughts. And those gaps, just widen those out, and you've got it. You've got a strong sense of being there and feeling in your body. You can still visualize the shot, but you're not distracted by that untamed mind that we tend to have. So this part 2 of the exercise, part 1 was coming back to the room. This part is coming back to your body, and the medium that we're using is the breathing. Because if you're breathing, you're here. If you're identifying your breathing, then you're in the moment and you're in your body. If you're not breathing, or you don't know if you're breathing, then you're elsewhere. So this is an exercise that you can actually bring to the golf course with you as well, and I'll talk about that next month. So let's get right to it. Just as in the last exercise, you'll be sitting in a comfortable chair, sitting erect, not stiff, but you know, comfortable, balancing your head on your shoulders, and your eyes can gaze maybe 3 feet in front of you. Gaze, not stare. And you know, you would maybe begin by coming back to the room, that exercise that we did last time. When your mind goes astray or goes out the window, the minute you notice it, you bring it back to the room. Well, in this case, you bring it back to your breathing. You can use any part of your breathing, of your breath. I like the out breath. You can do the in breath and the out breath. Your stomach going up and down, your chest, whatever part, even the feeling of the air going out of your nostrils, your choice. But the exercise is simply sitting there. Don't just do something, sit there. And when you're leaving the room, you just come back to your breathing. It's that simple. So let's do it for a minute or two. You may hear sounds in the distance. I'm hearing a sound right now. It sounds like raking leaves. That's happening in the present. You can hear the sound and not have to leave the room. Or you could decide to leave the room, think about the person raking, think about something out there, and before you know it, you're long gone. So notice it, come back to the breath. The practice is the coming back. You might do it 40 or 50 times in a session. The sessions can be as little as 4 or 5 minutes long, or as long as I've done it for 30 days for a month, a couple of times. It's a very powerful exercise. It'll help not only your golf, but also your life. And it'll, you know, this is all about golf here, and proprioception, feeling your body. I gave lessons to a gentleman named Mipam Rinpoche, who's a very experienced meditator and teacher, and never really played ball and stick sports before. He was a very accomplished, he can actually ride a horse, top speed, with a bow and arrow and shoot a target riding by. It's amazing. He's a very high-level marathon runner, but he decided he wanted to play golf, and had never hit anything with a stick before. And amazing how quickly he picked it up. He could feel a variation of molecules almost of where he was in space, and picked it up very quickly. Can break 80 now when he has time to play, and very quickly learned it. And that's proprioception. That's being able to stay in the moment. So I would recommend doing this every day if you can, 5 minutes. It just seems that it takes about 20 hours to really get a foothold into the exercise, and 40 hours to really make a change. And actually, your brain will change a little bit. The structure of your brain in those areas that are relaxation areas and happiness, they'll get bigger. It's been proven. Just Google it just Google that, meditators' brains, and you'll find some amazing information. But again, I'm not doing a missionary approach here, and it's not about religion or anything. It's just staying in the moment when you hit a golf shot. I hope that helps. And again, if there are psychological issues, deep-seated things that you're carrying with you, this is not the answer. See a psychologist or psychiatrist. But if you want some clarity in your thinking and taming that wild mind and learning to train it, I would suggest you do this. If you have something else that works, do that too. But if you want to improve your mental game, do something. If you don't do anything, you're going to continue with the same mistakes over and over again.